Hey, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the Alternative Voice. We are 4 minutes past 8 p.m. You can join us live on this discussion. Check the links outside there. Join us on Facebook, on YouTube, and all our social media platforms. If you're new to this channel, this is the Alternative Voice, and thank you very much for keeping us company along this discussion all these days. And so tonight we have one amazing person as a guest, and that's one Maryanne Waruguru. Maryanne Waruguru, if you can have you back. She's a counseling psychologist, and she's joining us live in this discussion. Hi, Maryanne.
Hi, Cleophas.
How are
Thank
you?
you for the warm.
How are you holding up?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm fine in Nairobi, and it's a pleasure having you here, Maryanne, today to dissect this topic of managing emotions today. So, Maryanne, where are you joining us live from? Maybe you have some viewers who are there asking, where is Maryanne from?
Thank you so much for having me. So I'm tuning in from Naivasha.
Amazing, amazing, Maryanne. Team Naivasha, karibuni ndani ya show. And this is the Alternative Voice. If you're joining us live on Facebook and YouTube, I'm your host for tonight, Claire Watch, and the amazing lady is joining us from Naivasha. That's Maryanne, the therapist. And so we go straight into this topic tonight. We have very few minutes, if I can say, or even seconds to tell our viewers what this topic really means. Have you ever asked yourself what emotions are? Have you ever asked yourself what emotions can do to you? Have you ever been emotional at your workplace, in your family, among your friends? Today, here we are with the right person to give you the answers for all these. Is it good? Is it bad to stay out of such a place? Join us live on our comment section. Drop your comments and give us your thoughts on what you think emotions are and how we can manage them. So, Maryanne, straight into this discussion tonight.
Yes.
What are these emotions?
Oh, thank you. Emotions are usually our physical perceptions or responses to external stimuli. For example, you may find that something happens either internally or externally, and then your body reacts in a way, and that is what we call emotion. And usually it stems from the mind, the way the mind reacts to that stimuli.
Wow, Maryanne. So how your mind reacts on things that makes it a whole emotional thing. And so, Maryanne, you'd like to know why are you so much into this issue of managing emotions? I know you as a graduate from Moy University, and you can tell our
Yes.
viewers tonight, when did you finish this and how are you practicing this? Because you keep the ground seriously and you're running with it. How has it been and why are you so much into this thing of therapy?
Okay, so as Cleophas said, I am a counseling psychologist. I did a bachelor's degree in Moy University, and ever since I've been passionate about mental health. And one of the ways that I'm doing this is through mental health awareness. So the topic managing emotions, I wanted to choose it because you find that even during our practice, you find that emotions play a key role. So you find that someone comes to you, maybe they're stressed, so they say they're feeling sad, they're feeling disappointed, and all of that. So emotions are really key in our lives. And you find that actually there is no life without emotions. Because if someone doesn't have emotions, maybe they are numb, but I feel like emotions are a natural part of life and we should embrace them and also learn how to manage them.
Maryanne, emotions are things that happen natural, and we have our viewers already on YouTube and Facebook. JLM, Kamili Sendochien, Adrian Peter, Stephen Kanisa, who is tuned from Kasina, tuned from Naivasha, Tukodani, good vibes. LF's links, we have to link your WhatsApp. Edwin Pedro, Cleo First in Kisumu, Nanga Bridge, Tukodani, Cleo the Alternative Voice. Thank you very much for joining this live discussion on Facebook and on YouTube. And so, Maryanne, the emotions, things that we do and we experience naturally. How can you manage something that you really feel it's good? Not all emotions you can say are bad, but how can you say there's this good emotion, like the good feeling? How can you bring this out? And you can just help our viewers. As in, unasema ati you have that urge to do something good and in an exciting manner, and you're emotional about this. Is there a way you can handle the good emotions as well as the other bad emotions that you have? And how can you do that?
First of all, I'd want to correct you. Emotions are neither good or bad. So they are usually unpleasant. Either they are unpleasant or pleasant. So you find obviously most so you
Yes,
find
Mary.
mostly sorry.
Yes, you're saying they are either pleasant or unpleasant. Is it pleasant? Do you mean the ones that make you happy, the ones that make you feel nice? Those are the pleasant emotions. And what are
Yeah.
these unpleasant emotions? How can a viewer strike the difference when it comes to these kind of emotions?
So you find that there are usually like 6 basic emotions, and the only one pleasant emotion is usually happiness. So in this category, you find things like joy, you're excited, you're exhilarated. So those are the pleasant emotions. And then the unpleasant ones are like you feel sad, you feel afraid, you have fear, probably you're surprised, you're disgusted. So those are the kind of unpleasant emotions. So the way you are talking about how to manage the good, which are the pleasant emotions, the reason that I
Yes.
say this is because find that even the good as we call it emotion, it's not always good, because I am imagining, let's say you are at a funeral and then you feel happy, then that won't be good. people will be people will be
Iwapo
surprised.
iwapo unaomboleza uwe katika mood ya maombolezi, ikiwa uko kwenye harusi kwa kwa ile mood, kindly
Yes,
strike difference. Well, because at times najua kuna other people who are joining us live and you can see them. We have Joshua Cole, who is actually happy that you're here, Maryanne, to share about this. Upon sharing with him that you'll be among our guests for this week, he said this is a good content, and Maryanne is such a resourceful lady for such a topic. And we have Kevin Amuhaya tuned in from Nairobi, Kenya, Life Pillars Counseling and Consultancy tuning in from Kilimani, and Futuristic Agency who is tuned from Eldoret, Moi University. So all these people are there and wondering if you're in such a situation where you can't differentiate what feeling you're having, or is it coming along with a disorder, Maryanne? When you can't identify the feeling that you have, or you rather shift easily from one emotion to the next. And what do we call that?
well, you mentioned about having a disorder, so that's one of them. That's one of the causes that may make you do that. But then the point that I was trying to put across was that emotions cannot be good or bad. They can only be maybe appropriate, you know. So
Yes.
let's say I am sad. I can't say, oh, I am sad. So usually it also depends on the way your body reacts. So the body has different reactions for different feelings and
Yes.
emotions. So you may, let's say in terms of happiness, you may have this warmth inside, but then when you're sad, you feel low. So usually emotions are accompanied by physical sensations that actually tell you what you're feeling. So let's say like fear is different from maybe, let's say, sadness.
Yes. Wow. Thanks, Marianne. Thanks, Marianne, for that elaborate discussion. And you can join us. We are just 10 minutes into this live broadcast on Facebook and YouTube. And Sylvia Vitari is already waiting for the second. Sylvia, we are on, and you're tuned from Nyeri. And this is always a good vibe having such amazing guests as Marianne in our live sessions on Thursdays. And so, Marianne, this brings me to another point where we'd like to invite you to share more on managing emotions, emotion intelligence. If you say you're a therapist, now I come to you
Yes.
with the unpleasant emotions, and I'm there. And how have you handled some of these cases? And you can give us some of the case studies that you've been able to go through as a mental health advocate. I'm sure that you've gone through, let's say, the suicidal people, and how can you handle such people among your peers or your circles?
Yeah, you've talked about emotional intelligence, and another way to put it can be even emotional regulation. So, this is the ability to actually be able to identify your emotions and also be able to determine how you feel them, how you express them, because that's actually the main thing. You find that emotions are natural, yes, but then you may express them in a way that is not good. Let's say, for example, you're angry and then you go kutukanana kila mahali, so that would be inappropriate. You see, so that's why it's key to learn how to manage them. And you've asked examples of cases that I've been able to handle regarding emotions. So you find that people, let's say, with mental illnesses or even general issues such as breakups, divorces, lack of work. So you find that people may be going through something that they don't know how to manage. So let's say they are crying all the time or they are sad all the time, they just want to stay in bed or they're even isolating. So those are the kind of cases that you get to see. And in terms of now managing the emotions, first of all, you find that when one is emotional, you are usually not reasoning. So you find that it's good to be able to relax first. And this can be done through things like breathing in, whereby your body is able to calm down and actually think clearly.
Wow, thank you very much, Marianne. And as you rightly put it, it's something that you as a therapist can seriously go through and advise someone on the right steps to take. And we have our viewers. Remember that your voice really matters, and that's why we are the alternative voice. Other than the things that you think are right to do in the society, when it comes to emotions, how can you manage them? Bring your questions, and Marianne will be here to answer you one question after the other. Sylvia Gitari, thank you once more for being part of this discussion. Cecilia Ching, powerful topic, Nairobi. Any inclusivity for deaf persons? Oh, our apologies, Cecilia. I know very soon. If you can have the comment sections, please, on the display on our producer. Yes, we have Sylvia Gitari there, tuned, waiting for the session we are on. That was read already. If you can go to Cecilia, yes, tuned from Nyeri, that's Sylvia Gitari. We have Cecilia Chieng. Cecilia Chieng, powerful topic, Nairobi and inclusivity for deaf persons. Deaf persons, I'm sorry, will be in a position to do something amazing for you to have a sign language interpreter once we get our location. And I know there are many students who are watching, and very soon we'll be opening the opportunity for you to come. Two-Wheeler Diaries, thank you very much for always being here, tuned in. And we have this question from Millicent Ochieng. Millicent Ochieng was also in Moi University, and now she's asking this question. Hey, Maryanne, women, mostly during their early stages of pregnancy, they have these unpleasant emotions. How can they manage them? What's your word for them? Because this happens to many. Maryanne, we answer them as they come. We answer them as they come. So the inclusivity question for the deaf persons we've tackled. Now we go to the question for Millicent, the pregnant or the expectant ladies. Thank you very much, Cecilia.
All right, thank you, Millicent, for that question. So the way I can answer this is that you find that there are also things that may affect our emotions. And talking about pregnancies, you find that they are associated with hormonal changes, which can actually affect your moods. So that's why people like to say, oh, uko na mood swings. So such things, they're usually natural. But then the good thing is to manage them. And like you have asked, how can they manage them? So things such as eating a good diet, exercising, sleeping well, these are usually general ways to manage them, but then they can also be applied for the specific cases now. So actually, we haven't talked about triggers of emotions, and one of them can be hormonal changes, which usually happens when one is having a pregnancy.
Maryanne, you've just mentioned a key statement about sleep and how can you say sleep, what role do sleep play in our emotions? Some people don't take it seriously. There are those people sleep 2 hours a day. What time is ideal for this kind of sleep to make you have the pleasant emotions?
So usually an adult is supposed to sleep an average of 7 to 8 hours. So when we sleep, our body usually repairs, you relax, the body kind of ni kama ile una restart simu ama laptop for it to function better. So if you don't get enough sleep, so then you cannot be able to manage emotions, your hormones and the chemicals in the bodies will not be functioning well.
Wow. Maryanne, some can say, because we have other people who are really working hard during the day and at night, and those people say that for you to earn that a living, that bread that you really long for, you must work extra hours, and they at times compromise on their sleep. What's your word for them? Is it healthy? And if you don't sleep, if you don't have such hours to sleep at night, what can you do to make up for such lost time?
Yeah, you're right. We need to hustle to make ends meet. And you find that, especially maybe people with side hustles or entrepreneurs, you find that they work for long hours, and that actually affects you. And you find that you have something called sleep accumulation, I mean. So you find that you really have to kind of pay for it. So you'll find that it will affect you, and it will be good to maybe take some time off after a while, maybe plan during the weekend, which I actually usually do. I sleep on Sunday afternoons to kind of catch up, I can call it, for the accumulated sleep.
Amazing. So all those people sleep, it's not in waste.
It's not a waste of time. It's just a way to repair your body, just to make yourself gain the normal state that your body should be operating. Cecilia Chien, great having this great discussion, and we have Josephine Kieti joining us live from Nairobi, tuned 100%. Shaq Charles tuned in, as well as JL Empire. And we take the next question just to move this a step forward. JL Empire asking if you can have that question on the screen. Hey, wanted to ask, are emotions expressed through feelings? Are emotions expressing through feelings? Is it a representation of whatever thing you're feeling? These emotions. Maryanne, a quick answer, then we continue.
Actually, emotions and feelings are usually used interchangeably, but you find that emotions are, let's say, your bodily sensations, and then feelings are usually the what you assign those feelings. Let's say you feel a certain kind of warmth, that is an emotion, the bodily sensation, and then the feeling is what your mind tells you you're actually feeling.
Aya, emotions, Maryanne, mapenzi. Where can you classify that? Ndani ya mapenzi, is there something extra that comes with emotions?
So what I can say, emotion and feeling usually go hand in hand. So first of all, there comes emotions. Maybe I feel a certain kind of warmth towards you when I see you, and then I will what my mind will tell me is that that is love. So the feeling is what your mind tells you about what is happening in your body. I hope I'm clear.
Unasema kitu moja nimesema, that's how it comes out. Amazing, amazing. Millicent Ochieng anacheka hapo, anasema on the other hand, how do we deal with emotional men, jealous emotional men? Leo nitatetea wanaume. Is jealousy only for men, Maryanne? Just make this thing clear. This thing is breaking marriages, it's breaking relationships, and people are outside here thinking that we should. Maryanne, answer Millicent. Answer Millicent. Can we have the question for Millicent on the screen, please? Yes, it will be there, but you can go ahead and answer this.
Sawa sawa, mi naweza sema not only men who are emotional, but I guess she's asking from a point of a woman because she has maybe seen it from a man.
Maybe.
So first of all, so firstly, what I can say is whatever someone is feeling, they need to know where it's coming from. Why is this man jealous?
Maryanne, when you say where it's coming from, is
Yes.
love as an emotion or that expression of love coming from the brain, if not the heart? Is it triggered? Is it triggered by the mind or the heart? Are you coming out with, Maryanne, emotions? Where are they originating
Yes.
from? Are they brain triggered? Are they from the heart? Are there hormones for this? And how can you regulate them? Kusaidia mtu kama Millicent.
So what I can say is emotions are usually triggered by a stimulus. That could be within you, maybe a thought that you have thought, but mostly externally. Maybe huyo mjamaa labda ameona message. Sasa akiona message umeongea hey babe usiku, so obviously he's going to become jealous. Or maybe when you walk around, maybe other men are looking at you, or you go around, I don't know. Maybe the way you're behaving is making them jealous. So you need to know why. You need to actually communicate with them to understand what is making them jealous. Why aren't they trusting you?
Amazing, amazing. You're really helping. You're really helping some marriages here, and you are really helping some people. Kwanza, there is a clip going around. If you've not watched it, simu ya mume wako, simu ya mke wako, simu ya rafiki yako, simu ya mpenzi wako ione kama police station. Usikaribie, usiiguze, wanasema hivyo. Lakini kama you've just agreed and you've said no, let's just be as we are, and you be happy with it, I think the emotional part for men will reduce, because I really feel for men. And so there's some money that we're talking about now. I don't know if you can still hear me, but if you can hear me, and we are 26 minutes into this live broadcast, 30 minutes past 8 p.m. if you're joining us from Kenya, from East Africa, from Nigeria, West Africa, from London, in the USA, Asia, India, any part of this world, South Africa, feel free to join us in the comment section. Share with us what you feel is not being answered as far as emotional intelligence is concerned, and how to manage such emotions. I'll go through the comment section, then we'll be coming back to answer them slowly. So if you're joining us, I'll just give you a shout out. Alex on Sase, you have a question there. We'll check on that question. Lumumba Felix joining us live from our university. You guys are looking good. Do your thing, bro. Do it best. Thank you very much, Felix Lumumba. Millicent Anabia Osase Pole. I'm sorry. Josephine Kieti tuned 100%. Yes, thank you very much for joining us from Nairobi. Yes, we can get the question from Alex Onsase now for you, Miriam. Good show. Just a quick one. Naweza fanya aje nijihelp kutamani dem? You at times wanna feel so emotional. Malisafi ikipita. Miriam, back to you.
Oh, that's a tricky one. Naweza fanya aje nijihelp kutamani? So kitu kama hiyo, maybe. Sorry. So what I wanted to say is, it depends on how you view the mali safi. So labda wewe ushajiambia mali safi.
How you feel? How you feel? How do you feel? You see, at times they say men are just visual beings. So is this feeling coming from just visual? What you see? Mali safi, unasema mali safi imepita. So imeona macho yamependezwa, ikafika kwa akili, ikafika kwa moyo. Huyu anatamani msaidie huyu kijana huyu, labda leo usiku atalala.
Kitu mimi naweza sema, there's the part of the brain. So obviously, like you said, a man is visual. So umeona, but then what do you tell your mind? So what I can say is to change the thinking pattern. So sio kila mali safi inaenda chain.
Sio kila mali safi inaenda chain. And that's a good takeaway for Alex Onsase. That's the answer that you have from Maryanne. Control that brain cell 1. Brain cell 1 inasema ati mali safi imepita. Brain cell 2 niende.
Hiyo ni kipa.
Thank you for tackling that question in a good way, Maryanne. And we go to Lumumba. Anyway, feel free to tell us. As Maryanne answered that question very well, Alex, join us in the comment section and tell us what you really feel about that topic. And this topic for tonight, if you're joining us for the first time, this is the Alternative Voice, and I'm your host, Cleophas Watch. Our guest tonight is Maryanne Waruguru. We appreciate you joining us live on YouTube and on Facebook. We don't take it for granted. We are here for you, and we're here to ensure that you learn something at the end of the day. Maryanne amesema, sio kila mali safi inaenda chain. Yes, and that's where we leave it and move to the next comment from Lumumba Felix. You guys are looking amazing. Do your thing, bro. Do it best. Thank you very much, Lumumba, joining us live from our university in Eldoret. Millicent Ochieng, thank you very much for being part of this great discussion. We have Zach Karanja tuned in from Machakos. Thank you very much. I see people are tuned all over the country, and this is the next thing that we're supposed to be having here. And we have, no, before we get to Alex Onsasi, we have other comments up there. Carol Kariuki, tuned from Nakuru. Thank you very much. Dennis Kiplagat, is it bad? Before we come to the question from Dennis Kiplagat, there is the question from Daniel Ojaka. Anauliza, can I tell when others are using my emotions to manipulate or control me? Can it be used as a manipulation? How can you tell? Maryanne, answer Dawn. Talk to Dawn now.
Actually, that is one thing about emotional intelligence. You have to also know or understand how others' emotions are and be able to respond to them accordingly. So, Melissa, can I tell when others are using my emotions to manipulate or control me? Yes, you can. So you find that there are people, there are people who
continue.
There are people who are usually manipulative, obviously use those emotions to be able to get through to you. So utapata kama maybe
yes, Maryanne, ongea. You find what? We just want not to be convinced that not everyone will be manipulating you, and it's true that you can be manipulated through your emotions. Yes.
Yeah. So you find that some people can maybe say something that will be able to evoke an emotional reaction from you. And like you said, obviously not everyone is using them against you. But then when you're emotionally intelligent, you can be able to tell, is this person really genuine, or are they trying to manipulate me to do something that maybe they want, or to control me through my emotions? Because unaweza pata mtu anapenda kukukasirisha tu, and they actually know something triggers your anger, and they actually go ahead and do it so that they can be able to see how you will react. Ile wanasema kupimanisha.
Yes. Wow. So hakuna mtu kupima mwenzake. Let's get the question from Dennis Kiplagat, and thanks Maryanne for being true to Dawn and telling Dawn things as they are. Not everyone will be taking your emotions for granted, and some people can use them to manipulate you. Dennis Kiplagat anauliza, is it bad to hide what you're feeling from yourself? And that's bring us to that point of living in denial when you are emotional imbalance. Maryanne, your answer to that question from Dennis.
Actually, I can say it's bad to hide it from even other people, not only yourself. So when it's from yourself, you're actually in denial, and you find people do that when they actually don't know how to manage them. So let's say umeachwa. So you might say, hata sisikii vibaya. But then in actual sense you are. Yeah. So unapata, when you're actually hiding from your feelings, they don't really go away. They actually pile up slowly by slowly, and they actually manifest in other ways, or inafika mahali zinalipuka. So you find that maybe just something small has triggered you, and it is actually the last straw on the camel's back, and you break.
Wow. Ukiachwa ufai kulive in denial that nimeachwa, ati mimi sisikii vibaya, hata sijasikia vibaya. So ladies and gentlemen, you are watching us outside there. This session is here for you.
and to learn. And what I know, the best way for you to learn is from your peers. And we are here just to tell you, when you're outside there and you've gone through breakup, don't just close yourself somewhere and say that everything is fine. If it's not fine, come out, talk. And if you can be helped, you'll find those people who can help you. We have those people who are experts in this. Daniel Jaka, Alex Osase, Carol Kariuki, Josephine Kieti. Talk to someone. Vile Marianne anasema hapo. These emotions are things that are there, but living in denial is the last thing that you should always be thinking about. We have the question from Alex Onsase on YouTube. How do you know if you are emotionally intelligent? Yani, unajuaje wewe ni uko sawa na hiyo nini ya kuchagua emotional, yani mtu ana ile emotional disorder, ile ya kutojua umefurahi ama nini? Yes, answer the question from Alex Onsase. Marianne.
Thank you, Alex. So emotional intelligence basically means that you can be able to identify emotions, be able to express them well and manage them. So if you're not emotionally intelligent, you may find that it is hard to identify which emotion you're actually feeling. Because sometimes you find that people actually cover up or mask other emotions with other emotions. So let's say an example, I might be feeling sad, but then I'm always angry all the time. So it's good to be able to know I am actually feeling sad and be able to deal with that accordingly. Let's say by listening to music, doing something enjoyable, going for a walk, calling a friend, or even a therapist. So the other thing is being able to identify emotions in other people, because you find that there are people who actually come and just start talking to you without even seeing how you are emotionally, or they actually make you angry, but then they cannot be able to identify that, hey, enyewe huyu amekasirika, let me give them a space and then I'll come back. But they go on talking, and then they even aggravate you even more. So that social awareness, the self-awareness, and being able to identify emotions both in yourself and also other people. That's what emotional intelligence is.
Thank you very much, Marianne. And Alex Onsase, you have the right answer from a specialist in this and someone with a degree in this field. Thank you for joining us live on our live show tonight. And I'm your host, Cleophas Olwoch. Always keep it the alternative voice. If you've not subscribed to this channel, click the subscription button. You go up chini. Yes, you go up on Marianne. Just click it and ensure that you've subscribed to this channel and follow us on YouTube and on Facebook. If you're new to this channel, welcome. And at the Alternative Voice, we talk matters youth. And we keep getting these questions from our viewers. And we have the question from, on our screen now, from Cecilia Achi, and then we'll come from the question to the next question from Edwin Pedro. Just to mention those people alive with us, Edwin Pedro watching us from Kisumu, Frida Odunga in Nairobi, Adrian Peter, you in Kisumu, Dennis Kiplagat Celia, Michelle M. Ann on Facebook, Samuel Omondi is live with us, Gian Yal is, Marianne, people are here. And before I go to Adrian's question, there's the question from Cecilia. Cecilia J. What are the therapeutic coping techniques to help a 32-year-old single man to overcome masturbation and moderate depression?
Thank you, Cecilia.
Yeah,
so
yes, wanashare tu wakinyonga na KWS inaweza washika, you never know. What's your answer to Cecilia? I'm loving this, Marianne. Let's do it. We are 39 minutes into this broadcast and 42 minutes past 8 p.m. Kenyan time, and we are coming live from various locations. I'm in Nairobi, Marianne is in Naivasha. Tell us where you're watching us from and drop your question on the comment section. Marianne, answer Cecilia.
Anyway, what I can say is that especially masturbation and also depression, most of it is not really emotional. Like it doesn't really specifically fall under emotions. But then what I can say, we have this um theory in counseling which we call CBT, which means cognitive behavioral therapy. So what we believe is that there is usually a triangle between our thoughts, our emotions, and our behavior. So you find that they are usually intertwined. So let's say this thing ya kunyonga, that's a behavior. So you should try and find what emotion is driving you to do that. Let's say they are lonely, or maybe they're even married, or they said single. It can also be a married person, but then maybe they're not satisfied. So they need to attend to that need. If you're lonely, maybe you need to talk to a friend. It doesn't have to be a loved one. So, and then also the thought that comes
You're
that
coming very
makes you
fast. This discussion is moving very fast. Please take us slowly. If someone is lonely, should this person, wengine wanasema atiende uoge and ufanye nini? So how can you help this person? Which technique can this person do to get that emotion out and to ensure that he is just back in his senses and avoids this thing called masturbation? In our previous shows, we hosted a doctor called Dr. Kevin Dye, and he told us something about masturbation. I don't know if it can be recommended to anyone, but now this person who is doing this because of emotions. Which emotions is this? Haya ni mapepo. Ni mapepo ambayo yanafaa kukemewa ama mtu anafaa kuzungumza na mwenzake ili kuepukana na mapepo haya? Back to you.
Hapana, kwa psychology hakuna mambo ya mapepo. So what I can say ni hivyo, what feeling are they feeling that is making them do that? So maybe because you find that actually when someone has sex, they usually, so if you're bored, find something to do. Keep yourself busy. If you're lonely, talk to someone or go out and meet people. Maybe that's the reason you're single. I don't know why they're single, but then find the reason why. Where is this feeling coming from that is making you do this? So that's why nilisema kuna hiyo connection ya your thoughts, then they trigger emotions, and then they trigger the behavior, na behavior sasa ndio hiyo masturbation.
Asante sana, umejaribu kusaidia souls hapa nje, na thank you very much Cecilia for bringing this, and I know we can always continue with this conversation on our social media accounts. Feel free to DM us, feel free to talk to Maryanne on our social media accounts. Follow her on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, on LinkedIn, just to share if you have any of such problems. Remember, this is a free therapeutic session that you'll be having with Maryanne, and who knows, you might be saved from something that you're really into. Follow on Facebook at Maryanne Waruguru, Instagram at Maryanne Waruguru, Twitter Maryanne_Waruguru, on LinkedIn, Maryanne Waruguru. And we get the next question from Edwin Pedro, who is watching us live on YouTube and is in Kisumu. Ile emotion inakujanga kama mtu amesota. Can it affect your life later? Jamani. Hello. Maryanne.
So before nijibu hiyo Cleophas, we actually didn't talk about the moderate depression.
Yes,
so
yes,
in
please. The last part of Cecilia's question, yes.
Yeah, so things hizi vitu hukuwa mostly the same. So you'll be told, sleep well, eat well, exercise, go for a walk, talk to someone. And then the major thing that I can say is when you find that you're not able to cope with these emotions, now it's time to talk to someone. It can be a friend, someone you trust though. You don't go around talking to everyone about your problems, or now a professional like me.
Yes, Marianne.
All right, so ninasoma hii ya emotion ya mtu amesota. Labda Cleophas utatuambia ni emotion gani hii?
Hii motion huwa inakuja tarehe 20 hadi tarehe 30 hapo ama 19 hadi kitu 27 hapo watu wako na emotions and you can see from the comment sections if you are on our YouTube and Facebook, wengine wanauliza tu hii emotion gani hii. Edwin Pedro ameuliza hapo vizuri, hii emotion inakuja kama mtu amesota before end of month and few days later. Yes.
Labda vile naweza sema, maybe according to experience, kama mtu amesota, maybe you're stressed, unashangaa pesa itatoka wapi. So ameuliza, can it affect your life later? Maybe. Mostly emotions are usually temporary. So unless it hasn't been addressed, ndio inaweza kuaffect later. So mimi vile naweza sema, tafuta hustle.
Marianne, kazi wengine wanasema kazi haiko Kenya. Haiko Kenya ama uko Kenya wewe?
Niko Kenya na hata mimi naitafuta hiyo kazi.
Yeah, but it's a good advice. It's a good advice. If you get yourself busy doing something, you never know. Edwin Pedro is a journalist, and I know he's into freelancing, doing this online writing. You can be a freelance journalist, yes. But now, if you really need to be part of this great change, be among the great change makers, you really need to step up and also be counted. Frida Odunga, I'm late, but we are here finally. Thank you very much, Frida. And Frida is joining us live from Nairobi. And Frida asked the following question. Before I come to Adrian. Adrian, I know you are in Kisumu and you've just received the COVID vaccine in your place. Yes. Frida Odunga is asking, or rather saying, one's emotions must always be addressed by the person, or your emotions shall address themselves. But another thing is that some people are never aware of their emotions because they are used to suppressing. And that brings us to the reality that you talked earlier, the issue of suppressing the emotions that you have, not speaking them out, hiding them, not being able to share freely. And thanks very much, Frida, for that. And I'm still on your questions. If you're joining us live on YouTube and Facebook, we are there. Marianne Leo watu wako hapa. Adrian is saying, you can't be free with your girl or boyfriend. Then, if you can't be free with your girlfriend or boyfriend, then there's a problem. If your spouse can't inspire a certain level or sincerity or receptiveness, there's a problem. And this is a big problem that we can say, Adrian, if you are joining us live, and this is why we are here. If you have that lost trust with your spouse, with your boyfriend or girlfriend, there is a problem somewhere. And how can you bring this emotion out? How, Marianne, help us know. If you are not in agreement with your spouse, your boyfriend or your girlfriend, watu wengi wana watch hapa wako na girlfriends na wako na girlfriends na boyfriends na wanasumbuana kweli kweli. You don't know how to express your emotions. First, when you are hungry, when you are happy. Watu wengine maybe hawataki yule mtu wako so much hype. Yes, how can you bring these emotions to avoid this problem that Adrian is talking about? We are 49 minutes into this live broadcast, and very soon, in the next less than 10 minutes, we'll be coming to an end of this live broadcast. And so, Marianne, answer Adrian, how can you express these emotions out once you're in this kind of a relationship?
Okay, thank you for that. So the important thing is to be able to express, and it also depends on the magnitude. So if ni kitu wenye una go through at that time, you can be able to express it. Just express it even if you're afraid how will they react. But then if it's something that is overwhelming, you first of all need to calm yourself down. So you can maybe walk away, alafu mkiwa mmerudi chini mrudi muongee, but most importantly express, because if you don't, then hiyo relationship sijui mahali inaenda.
It's just a blind date. You are there in a blind relationship. You don't know where you're going to. Joining us live on this discussion on Facebook, YouTube, we have Catherine Anyango, Anyas Cakes in the house, loving the discussion. That's Facebook. Cecilia Achieng, thanks Maryanne. Cleophas Pepo, actually no, thanks to guys for your response. We know Cecilia, hii kitu ni ukweli. Kuna wengine Maryanne amesema tu ati hakuna mapepo, but we really know how these things work. Hakuna mapepo in a field, hakuna mapepo, lakini ukija tunajua vizuri, ukiambiwa boyfriend wako anafanya hii, unajua huyu ako na mapepo, huyu ametumwa na watu wao. Frida Odunga, I think masturbation is an addiction. It might have been introduced to him by a friend or someone, and hence it should be dealt with like alcohol addiction. Frida, wewe na pombe, hata before nikuje kwa hiyo question, tunajua vizuri Frida is a very good girl who is in Nairobi, well mannered, a lady who is doing her business and doing what she loves doing when it comes to tailoring and stuff, and she's doing an amazing job in the city. And before this question, anasema hapo mbele, I think masturbation is an addiction and it should be treated like alcohol addiction. Maryanne, all these things are coming with emotions. Hata Frida vile anaongea sasa hapa anaongea with a lot of emotions. Anasema hii kitu should be treated as alcohol addiction. And remember, someone who is into this, akona emotions that nimesema that are not balanced. Kuna kitu ana miss, and that's why he's also doing other things. And remember, alcohol addictions will also bring us to another thing altogether. How about who are addicted? They express themselves in so many ways. Are their emotions when drunk part of the discussion? Should they be taken seriously when they express themselves in such a state of mind? Just to add to what Frida said. We have Florence Muia, then you'll be answering that, and Peter, Stephen Kanisa, we are coming to your questions. Catherine Anyango, again, Anyas Cakes in the building. Chico Kiara in the building. Edwin Pedro, we are coming to your comments before we come to the end of this live discussion. Maryanne, take it away. Answer Frida and give us the concept shortly in less than a minute. Yes, tell us even, should we take those alcohol addicts seriously when they talk? Because emotions they wanatoa hapa nje, they are not things that you yes. Maryanne.
So actually I've been an addiction counselor. So what I can say is addiction is usually something that you do so much that it becomes a part of you. But then, like I had said, you find that it's usually a symptom of something that is actually underlying. So you find out, why is this person addicted to the masturbation or to the alcoholism? So you find hizo triggers zenye zinamfanya, and then now you handle them, but you actually can't take away the behavior without dealing with the thoughts and the emotions.
Wow. You can't take the behavior out without handling the emotions and the thoughts. It all starts from the thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. If you're joining us live in this discussion, it's all
Cleophas, we can't really hear you. But then there is something that you mentioned about alcoholics that sijui vitu zenye wanasema you can't take them seriously. But then you see that's usually just the effect of the alcohol or the behavior of taking alcohol, and you can't really judge them. But then unawacha hiyo pombe ishe kwanza ndio you be able to reason with them.
Wow, thank you very much, Maryanne. As you can see, I've changed the position where I was sitting because my lights have just gone off on me. I'm using, I don't know, come in the torch, my producer, you'll pardon me, but we are here just to ensure that this content continues. Maryanne, on alcohol addiction and addiction, you really handled it well, and we are doing all that we can to ensure that this discussion continues. We are coming almost to the end of this broadcast, and we have Adrian, Peter, we have Florence Muia. It could also be an addiction, and that's true from the explanation that we received from Maryanne. Yes, and that's it from that viewer on YouTube. And we have Adrian who is saying, or he could get himself a girlfriend to keep himself busy. When you have a girlfriend so that we can move to the next topic. Thank you very much. And that emotion will be handled in a good way. And we have Stephen Kanasina. Actually, kunyonga kanungu is an addiction that can be avoided by avoiding porn. Yes, and we have a bill that will soon become a law in our country. If you're found doing the kind of content that you are saying outside there, you'll be penalized. Inasemekana ni 2 million, 20 million, or 10 years in prison. Yes, it's that serious. Yes. We are having Cecilia, thanks Maryanne, Cleophas Pepo, hapo tulishasema. Catherine Anyango ameshakuja na akatuambia yeye anafanya kazi ya kupika keki hapa Nairobi na anafanya kazi zingine tofauti na she's live in this discussion. Thank you very much, Kate, for being part of this discussion. Millicent Ochieng, thanks a lot, Maryanne, for enlightening us tonight. And thanks also, Millicent, for being part of this great discussion. We have Chico Kiara. Wow, wish the session could prolong. Learning so much. Kudos. Thank you very much, Chico, live from Facebook. And we are there as we still live broadcast and this live production. We are here just being creative. And thanks, Cleophas, for... Are we towards the end of the comments? Yes, we are just been creative. Thanks, Cleo and Maryanne, for this. This show was very educative, but short. Lots of insight. That's William Decker joining us from Nairobi. Lots of insights from Maryanne. Amazing. Thank you very much, Decker, for joining us and always supporting the alternative voice. We have other comments. If you can get the comment from these viewers popping on the screen, what a producer. Yes, and so all these comments are amazing. Maryanne, your last words for this show before we bring it to an end, please. Your last word when it comes to managing emotions. We are 2 minutes into, or 2 minutes past 9 p.m. Kenyan time. Maryanne, your last words so that we can bring it to an end and continue the discussion on our social media platforms.
Thank you so much, Cleophas, for this opportunity. So what I can say about managing emotions is, first of all, be aware of them, what is happening to you, be able to label your emotions, and that way you'll be able to manage them. You can manage them by through things such as breathing deeply to calm yourself down, writing down your emotions, taking a walk, talking to someone, following the other like healthy things such as eating well, sleeping well. There are so many, and I hope we get to continue this discussion. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, everyone, for having joined us live in this discussion tonight. And thanks, Maryanne, for honoring our invite. Next week, we are talking about youth and digital entrepreneurship. We'll be having someone called Maitha. Yes, he's a digital strategist, and he'll be here to share more insights on how we can make a living and how we can be entrepreneurs on our social media platforms. Till next time, thank you very much. If your comment wasn't read tonight, we'll meet, and always remember to click on that subscribe button, and always keep it the alternative voice. I've been your host for tonight. Until next time, I'll miss you. See you next week, Saturday at 8 p.m. Same platforms across all social media platforms. Michelle, Ann, Adrian, Peter, Decca, Stephen, Josephine, Michelle, Dennis, Elves, Steve, Frida, Catherine, Millicent. I have you at heart, and I remember you in prayers as we end tonight's show. Gian Gal, good show, watching from Kochi, India. Nice discussion from peers in Kenya. Very helpful. Cleophas, good, powerful voice. I'm honored to have that. Thank you very much. And do have yourself a good night, wherever you're watching us from. May God protect you. Keep safe and keep it the alternative voice. Bye, Maryanne.
Welcome to Ahava Medical Center. We are located at Konamaji, Manyata, opposite Kisumu Elite Academy, Kisumu County. At Ahava, we offer general and specialist consultations, laboratory services, pharmacy, mother and child clinic. We also offer inpatient and maternity services, including Linda Mama, and soon opening up our theater services. We accept NHIF and other insurance companies. Choose Ahava Medical Center as your facility of choice today. Call us on 0714-815-323. Follow us on Facebook at Ahava Medical Center, Kisumu. Ahava Medical Center, healthcare with compassion.